Minutes after Odinga spoke, riot police tear-gassed his convoy and charged the crowd in Nairobi. Odinga's address came less than an hour after President Uhuru Kenyatta was inaugurated. At least one man was killed as police clashed with opposition supporters.
We don't want to be sworn in like Besigye. We will be sworn in like Mnangagwa. We shall be sworn in and go to State House the same day. As National Super Alliance members, we shall use Chapter 1 of our Constitution. The people will swear me in, and on December 12th, we will hold a People's Assembly that will swear me into office.
Well, tens of thousands of Kenyatta supporters packed a stadium in Nairobi as he was sworn in.
I, Uhuru Kenyatta.
Police had to drive back supporters trying to get in without seats. Last week, the Supreme Court ruled the second presidential poll in October was valid. The first ballot, held on August the 8th, was annulled because of irregularities. Kenyatta has pledged further reform to boost the economy.
We have built a Kenya where every county is the center of the nation, where every county is the center of economic development. Through the revolution, we have delivered government to the people.
Well, Tuesday's inauguration follows weeks of political turmoil. Kenyatta won the presidential election held on August the 8th with 54% of the vote. The opposition party challenged the election result. The Kenyan Supreme Court declared the poll results invalid and ordered a rerun. Kenya's presidential election rerun was held on October the 17th. Opposition leader Raila Odinga boycotted the poll. Kenyatta won with 98% of the vote. Civil society groups in the opposition wanted the new poll to be annulled as well, but judges dismissed two petitions challenging it, upholding Kenyatta's election victory. Well, let's speak to journalist John Allen Namu, who joins us now live from Nairobi. So let's start with Raila Odinga's refusal to accept Kenyatta's presidency. He says he's going to have himself sworn in as president on December the 12th. What could be the impact of that?
Well, the impact already is that it's just shown the country and the rest of the world that Kenya still has a lot of healing to do. A lot of divisions need to be healed, and Raila Odinga doesn't seem to be standing back from the challenge or the new legal challenge that presents to him now with Uhuru Kenyatta being officially sworn in as president. All it tells you is that the political impasse has not ended with the swearing in of Uhuru Kenyatta.
And Kenyatta's promised to overcome divisions, but what can he do to bring the country together?
Well, that's a difficult question right now, because some of the divides that are being upon by Raila Odinga are electoral, but they go much deeper than that. Kenya's electoral and political system, its competitive political system, depends heavily on tribal alliances, which seem to skew the politics of the day in favor of anyone who can garner the largest support from the largest tribes. That's something that cannot be fixed by a discussion just between Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. The deep fault lines that were exposed in this election still have yet to be addressed, even though in part they had been addressed in the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission that released a report a few years back. Uhuru Kenyatta has a mountain to climb, and it's very difficult to see what he'll be able to do short of acceding to some of the demands of Raila Odinga.
And, I mean, as far as the inauguration goes, I mean, clearly there were tens of thousands of his supporters there. Just give us a sense of what the atmosphere was like and whether there is any sense that Kenya is now going to move on from this political crisis.
Well, in the stadium and around the country where Uhuru Kenyatta has support, there was elation and an obvious sense of relief, not just from his supporters, but from the business community, a large percentage of which are self-employed people who depend on the business environment to be able to survive, being the business environment being stable. So there was a lot of relief in that sense from people who need their lives to continue. But as I mentioned, this goes deeper than just the day-to-day events in Kenya. This speaks to the heart of Kenya's political system and its political structure. And much as people would want for this political season to have ended, the deep problems that were exposed during this season have yet to be dealt with, and that leaves a bit of a bad taste a bad aftertaste after this election, given that it's not all clear yet.
John Allen Namu in Nairobi, thank you very much indeed for that.